We have the t-shirts back in stock, my darlings. What is delayed is not denied. We have it in blue since you loved it so very much indeed, my darlings. You better go ahead and get your t-shirt before it sells out, because I just might go ahead and do a yellow t-shirt for you and an orange t-shirt. You have to bear in mind, Baby Girl is a small brand. We are self-funding here, so I can only do so much. But yes, the t-shirt is back and I am living and loving. I also have a surprise for you. Yes. You asked and I said, why not? We have brought the black t-shirt back. What is delayed is not denied. Are we living and loving? Ah! Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? So, Simply Michael, the beautiful musical biography that was released a couple of months ago and was really well portrayed by Michael's nephew Jafar, was absolutely fantastic. I got up dancing, I was laughing, it took me back to my childhood. I lived and loved Michael. It was wonderful, and I actually got up and got my Michael Jackson outfit and everything. It brought happy times, a time when everybody was alive. Whitney Houston was alive, Prince was alive, we had the Soul Train, which I used to watch on the weekends, we had MTV, we had so much, and Michael was a huge part of my life. I strongly recommend that all of you go and watch it. Jafar, there were times when I forgot that it wasn't Michael. That was how fabulous he was. And then we saw that backslide at the Motown Music Awards. Everybody was on fire, and they really captured that moment. They also captured moments, his tour as well, and we could see and understand the dynamic with Michael and his father. Michael and his father's relationship was tumultuous, to say the very least. The irony of it all is that they loved each other very much. Michael loved his father, and his father loved Michael. Father loved all of his children. I think his father just did not know how to show love because he was not loved by his parents in the way that Michael and his children most probably needed it the most. They were entertainers first, and so that was why Joe insisted that they call him Joe and not Daddy. I'm your manager. I'm not your daddy. And whatever Joe did, he brought out excellence in them. I will say it now upon reflection. I believe that Michael was on the spectrum. Very much so. Undiagnosed because of his genius. Because it was inside of him. And when you have that kind of gift, that kind of talent, it can be a curse and it can be a blessing. And I think that Michael's other life outside of his gift and talent suffered very much, because outside of his gift and talent and working since he was 5 years old, every other aspect of his life was sacrificed. He didn't have a normal childhood. He did not have regular friends. He did not have a regular life. He did not know what that regular life was. Everything was poured into his genius. And I believe, and she's still very much alive, that his mother, who I think is now 96, knew that. A mother knows their child. I'm a mother today. I know my child. I know my child like I know my fingerprints, so to speak. It was extremely insightful because you do question yourself and say, careful what you wish for. I also think that his marriages and his children were a huge sacrifice against his talent. There will be nobody like Michael, and there has been nobody since he passed away 17 years ago. Beautiful. It was absolutely phenomenal, and it was wonderful to see them reenact the Thriller video on the same lot, on the same space where it was done so many decades ago. I hope that there'll be a part 2, 3, and 4, because Michael's life is legendary, even though he lived to be only 50. That was a light. I lived for it. And then came the documentary of Michael called The Verdict. About his trial that he had in 2005. In 93, I was at the American College here in London studying business administration. And I used to get my nails done from a wonderful woman. I think she was Jamaican. We're talking about over 30 years ago. And she also used to do manicures, go up to the palace to do Princess Diana's nails as well. Princess Diana and Michael were very close. They were good friends. To the point that when Michael came for his tour, he had removed the song Dirty Diana, of which Diana said, I wish you didn't take it out. I want you to play it. I want you to do that song. I love that song. And she was the one that told me that she had heard that Michael had some kind of allegations about him in relation to children. I will never forget my reaction. I was so upset with her for even repeating such atrocities to Michael. I was so upset with her that I was turned off by her, because I felt there's gossip and there's a place where you draw the line. Even if you heard it, should you repeat such nonsense? And I expressed my distaste, to which she was absolutely surprised that, Fumi, my God, I didn't know that you were such a fan. I said, no, not a fan. Don't you know who you're talking about? That was my initial stance. Many years later, I was just curious. How did these allegations even start? Come to find out, in May of 1992, Michael's car broke down in California. And so the car that was replaced, the man who owned the car dealership went on to express, as so many of us, my children love you, my son loves you. This man was a divorced father, and he co-parented with the mother. And Michael, being Michael, who loves children just like I, warmed up to the child, and the child would travel with him. He would lavish so many gifts onto the children, because I think the child had a sister or so on and so forth. And the father became irate after some time, because he would want to go and pick up his son, only to find out Michael has traveled with the boy from one place to another. The allegations came out. He ended up paying them all for 25 million. I'm just giving you the quick synopsis of this trial. In 2003, Michael had an interview with Martin Bashir. He had an interview with Martin Bashir. It's very important here, because Martin Bashir is also the man who had an interview with Princess Diana, when Princess Diana made the famous statement after being asked by Martin how she saw her marriage. And she famously said, well, there are 3 of us in the marriage, so it's a bit crowded. Michael watched that interview without really going through the ramifications of that interview. In his head, he thought it was a success. It was a disaster. And so he sought Martin Bashir out, because he thought what he had done for Diana, which was a disaster, I don't know where Michael's people were at, that maybe he could do the same for him. And so he invited Martin Bashir to Neverland. And I got an insight in all of this in the trial. I want to continue by saying, I believe Michael. I believe Michael is innocent of these allegations, then and then 10 years later. What I'm terribly saddened about And I don't know why. Michael should have had people to protect him. And Michael should have had people that told him it's not okay to sleep with children in the same bed that are not yours. The entire Neverland is a feast for a child of 8 years old. It's a feast for a child that is 5 years old. And that's what got me thinking. Michael started his career at 5. His childhood died when he started this career. And because there were 10 children, one passed away, twin. I think it was Marlon's twin. They most likely might have slept together in bunk beds. So he always slept with somebody for comfort. After giving us everything that he gave, and after the betrayal of people, as we have experienced, people have hurt us, people have betrayed us, people have shown that as much as sometimes we look for good in this world, people can be very cruel. People can be very calculating. And the betrayal is what stings most, because that's always family and friends. Michael went through that. And who does he trust? Children. I myself have said it. I love children more than I love adults, because they are honest, because they don't know how to lie, because it's where I find my happy place. But I will tell you this, after watching the verdict, I will respectfully keep my distance from other children that are not mine or family related. Oh yes, because people are evil, people are cruel. Michael made the mistake of saying that, oh, let me introduce you to so-and-so. He lives here. We cured him from cancer and we sleep in the same bed. He did not mean anything by it. He did not mean anything by it. But the world as we are, that's illicit, that's sexual, that's leading to one thing or another, which it did lead to a whole bunch of people coming out and accusing him of things that he did not do, and he was acquitted of all of them. That was in 2005. 4 years later, he would die. An anesthetic, taking anesthesia to sleep, because he could not sleep. There was a wonderful scene in the verdict, where they opened a room and it was full of tapes, video cassettes. And to be honest, my heart skipped a beat. And the investigator said, wow, what do we have here? We got to go through all of this. Over I think 8,000, something like that. Every single one. They sat through every single one. They had a team to go through every single one. Not one of them was illicit. It was Michael perfecting his songs, his dances, his moves. Every single one. There was nothing there. I just wish the family had protected Michael. Michael was on the spectrum. Michael was on the spectrum. They should have. And you know, when you don't know, you don't know. Because he went undiagnosed, they didn't know. Because now I'm seeing it for what it is, you know, not going forward. And I understand. They should have protected him. They should not have let younger children come to his place. Let it be, and I will do it from now on, where if I'm having parties, it's away from the house. Yes, I may hire a place, let their parents be there. Once it's over, let the parents take their children and go. It taught me a lot, because it showed how cruel this world is. And in essence, we killed him. We deleted him. He couldn't bear the atrocities of which he was being accused of. It was as if We used him and spat him out. He got nothing. He got nothing. He was never happy. And the one thing that did make him happy, he was accused and told that he was A, B, and C. I remember in the biopic with Jaffa, he was in the swimming pool and he was so frustrated because he was trying to get a song, he was trying to get a hook, and he was like, Lord, please help me. And his brothers were saying, Michael, why don't you come and have a good time? He said, no, I got to work, because if I don't get it, God will give it to Prince. Prince was his rival, and yet there was no competition. I wanted to cover it because innocence means everything to innocent people. When you are innocent, you will go to the end of the earth, because it's not true. And I wept. It made me, it was very dark. It was very black, and it made me feel really sad, bad. It taught me a whole bunch of things, because I love children. And I realized, for me, it's good that you watched it so that you know how you be careful. Because once it gets out there, it's like a pillowcase full of feathers. If I bust it out into the street, I can never get all of those feathers back. That's rumors, that's gossip, that's a bad reputation that some people don't recover from, regardless of whether you are innocent. I felt bad. Did Netflix have to release it? In many ways, yes. Because it only reinforced the innocence of Michael for me. And what money is. And what money can do. But they should have protected Michael. The way Michael lived, they should have protected him. He should have had therapy. He should have had guidance. He should have had somebody with him 24/7. Because Michael was fragile. And when you leave somebody undiagnosed with this kind of access to money, and he has nobody that can guide him, oh no. You'll be in trouble. You can be in trouble, because you see, I can sit here and film, and if I don't feel good about something, or Ula will tell me, Fumi, no, it's not going to go down well, I can cut it out. I can edit it out. But Michael was there just living his life, thinking that the world was full of sunshine. Whereas the sun barely comes out for some people. It's as dark as you can be. And no matter how many people he helped, it still was not enough. It was very sad. It was very sad. And might I add, I had empathy also for the children. There was a particular child who till this very day does not speak to his mother. Some people can look at it and say, well, it's because you sacrificed me to Michael. And some people can say, well, it's because you made me do something that I knew was a lie. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you sooner than later. All of my love.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking